Hello, welcome back. I am excited for this prompt, Tarot Vlogmas Day 26, hosted by Papa Squirrel. The question is, what tarot deck has gotten you through this year? So, obviously, you guys know my favorite deck, the Triomphe della Luna Paradoxical. Obviously, also, Thoth was a big energy that I used through this entire year. But honestly, thinking about this, the deck that got me through this year, because it was a difficult year, and the deck that I found I was reaching for so often is actually the Crow's Magic Tarot. It's Just the Way It Is by Londa Marks. This is a deck that's out of print, a vintage one from the 90s. The reason I kept reaching for this deck, I think, and I did an entire live with Sylvain about this deck, showing the cards that we like, showing the cards that we don't like, and why, etc. I also did a full flip through at some point of this deck on my channel when I got it, also an unboxing, all of that. You can see it in different videos because it's a weirdo, but definitely has some strengths. And I'm still not certain what type of system this is, but I read it intuitively, and that I think is a big reason why it was such an important deck for me this year, because I found myself reaching for it and reading the tarot in a different way almost. Obviously, I was still using all the reading techniques that I implement in any reading, but also it pushed me, because it's such a different depiction, different renditions of those cards we all know so well. This is like a very unconventional, strange looking Wheel of Fortune, right? This is why it pushed me into reading more intuitively, as I said. This resulted in me often feeling comforted, very much comforted, because it means that if I can read this deck, this very strange deck, intuitively, and get these incredible deep messages, because honestly, every reading I do with this deck, I get something really different and deep, as I said, from it. It's comforting because it also means that I can trust myself. It also means that I can trust my intuition. It means like that type of master or message that I'm looking for outside of myself lives within myself. And this deck helps me get there. Also, I talked about this, I think, yesterday. Yeah, probably. This deck also I started using as a means of communication between me and something else. But obviously still it feels like in my rational mind, I'm still reading the tarot, I still get these messages. But I must say I enjoy the journey, I enjoy the symbolism, the kind of faith. I'm the one with this practice that I use now with this deck so that I can communicate with this something that is outside of myself. So as I said, in my rational mind, I am still the one reading the tarot, getting the messages from a tarot deck, from a pack of cards, cardboard, mass produced at some point. But in my body, it feels different. It feels more than that. It's good. It's like a nice type of symbolism that I can work with, that actually works really well for me. I don't know how to explain it. Everyone who works with guides or whatever will know what I mean with this. It's not something I thought I would get into, but this year I needed it and I was ready, I was ready. So it feels more magical. I mean, it's the Crow's Magic spelled with a K at the end. How could I not use this deck for magical practice? It kind of screams, just like the Thoth, it screams like, use me for intention settings, use me for more than just tarot readings. Yeah, it feels different when you pull cards with the intention that this message comes from this entity you're working with, deity you're working with. Definitely. Definitely. Not going to show you the Four of Coins because we've seen that enough in this tarot vlogmas. Overall, I like the comfort that this deck brought me because it's not a hug deck at all. I like the artwork in spite of the terribleness of it. That's the charm. And I'm really, really glad I found it. Yeah, that it came to me. So thank you again. The reason it was so comforting to me is because, as I said, it means that I can trust myself. It also feels like I'm not doing this practice alone. I'm actually talking to someone and someone else is talking back to me. It feels different when you think this is your tarot deck giving you these messages, or this is something else giving you these messages, right? Long story short, finally, I got there. And it also means that I can learn. And my practice is mine and it is changing, but it's so important to me, at least at the moment, to know what I'm doing, to have a type of base level, like a foundation. This is my practice. And yes, it will evolve forever. It will change forever. But I have some things that I can fall back on too. Yeah, so this is definitely the deck. What was the question again? The deck that got me through this year. Absolutely. Yeah. It was a strange year. I'm really, really glad that I found this deck, that I have this connection now. I really needed that connection and communication and a tool to broaden and at the same time go deeper. I always talk about going deeper with tarot, going deeper with shadow work, going deeper with any type of practice and readings. This deck immediately, automatically gave me something that was so different than what I was used to and so good, like it came at the exact right time, that I was able to do more than just read tarot with it, basically. So this is it, the Crow's Magic Tarot. Okay, everybody, thank you so much. Yeah, we'll see each other tomorrow. Bye.